be doing a scavenger hunt over the next 24 hours.
The tribe that won the challenge, scored 178 points, and overall just kicked this challenge's ass was the DeBears tribe.
I cannot stress how important this advantage could be.
You know what? That's fine.
Alright.
I finally got some cross-tribe relations in.
And she said that one of the Bryans reached out to her on Zoom, and she thought it was Brian S. Was it you or was it?
That was me.
I think it was Brian S.
I don't love it, but Brian S. does need to go soon. Like, very soon.
But Brian S., who worked with me on production for season 6, is also on my tribe.
There are two kind of groups right now. And the targets would appear to be one group wants to target Juan, and the other group wants to target Maddie / Emma. One of those two.
Like, they're not gonna tell me if they're voting for me.
The third person voted out of Survivor Michigan Season 7, the Wolverine Wheel, Maddie.
So Tribal Council went perfectly once again. Everything went exactly as planned. Maddie and Emma voted for Juan, everyone else voted for Maddie, and Maddie went home.
What the fuck?
Maddie has been a target since week 1 because just her way of playing the game, and just her personality, in a sense, like it was very bold, very, you know, almost like there's like a tint of danger in it in a way.
Right after the tribal, I got into a call with Emma. I made sure I was the first one to the punch. I made sure I got her while the wound was still fresh, all that kind of stuff. So I basically went in there and I, put on my apologetic face.
I just want to start by apologizing because obviously we left you out of the vote. But
All good.
I mean, obviously, like people were scared about you and Maddie's like power duo type thing.
Holy shit. It just makes me rethink like everything. And also, I don't know how I feel.
I wish we could have told you, but like with the idol and stuff, it was just too complicated. I'm just hoping we can reconcile as a tribe and move forward.
No. If you had told me and I knew that it was the majority, I would have voted with you. At this point, I've talked to Rohan and Megan, both of whom I think feel really bad for leaving me out of the loop. They're probably the two that are still in that I'm probably closest to. And I know that they feel really bad. And Juan said that he wanted to get out you or Maddie, but this was in the big group. And then it was more, Rohan and I were pretty set on Maddie. And I think Luciana was too. They knew that I was close to Maddie. And so I'm not surprised that they didn't tell me. And I do take into consideration that both of them, to my knowledge, and from what I've heard, it was only one that wanted me gone. But, I do take into consideration that everyone said that they wanted to get rid of Maddie and not me.
Tribal went so well. So right before Tribal, I had a plan to really sell to the fact, or sell the idea to Maddie and Emma that I was out of the loop, that no plan was already in place, that things were gonna go how they thought it would go.
Well, Tribal was fun.
Tribal was so fun. Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Okay, first off, who didn't vote? Like, I'm curious.
Me too.
It was probably the advantage, the nullify a vote is what I thought.
So I'll explain that here.
The advantage turned out to be the opportunity to spin a wheel, half of them being advantages, half of them being disadvantages. I didn't really want to play it. I had the option to play it myself or to give it to someone else anonymously. told Rohan and Luciana about it to like think it over. Luciana offered to take it herself, but I didn't really want. For some reason, I wanted to give it to someone, but the thought of giving it to someone also made me scared. So I decided to just keep it, and I lost my vote.
That was why it was an advantage, because I could have used it on any of you if I wanted to, but I kind of the advantage.
You're saying you're not guilty at all.
I did not vote a tribal.
There you go.
So yes, just wanted to clear the air there. I didn't, yeah, that's what happened.
I actually thought that Maddie, if she had the opportunity to go further in this game, she probably would have gotten really far, especially, in a swap or merge scenario. And that was the reason that we got rid of her now. It was because she was probably a threat to us in the future. Emma, why'd you write my name down?
Well, it wasn't really solidified until I heard you had said my name. So, related to that, why did you want to vote me originally?
Me?
The fact that Juan is saying so much, like, especially what you said this morning, like, he's saying different stuff to literally everybody. He's gonna, like, just get himself voted out, like, further down the line.
Most of the plan came to be because of me. I feel like I've built good relationships with everyone where they recognize that it was more valuable to keep me.
People get on my nerves sometimes, like Emma, because she talks a lot. Juan, because he's like, an absolute wild card, like absolute like clown. Not even a clown like in a good way. Like he's just like kind of bad at the game. Like
I had basically told everyone, hey, Maddie's super social, Maddie's lying, Maddie's, playing hard. And I think that got into everyone's heads and we decided to vote her out because of that. But I don't think that I'm playing less hard than Maddie or something,
Do you know why Juan wanted me out so bad?
Dude,
I'm just curious. Like, what does he have against me?
Yeah, he actually has like a literal vendetta against you. Like he was so mad. I was like, relax.
I was feeling bad, but then I realized they were trying to get me out and instead they got. So
true. Yeah.
Why do I need to feel bad?
Yeah, you don't gotta feel bad because if they got their way, then you would have been out of the game.
Tension between the two are honestly at an all-time high. I made sure I put a little bit of extra wood into the fire as well to make sure they knew that, there's some beef going on. I basically told Emma, and it's not really a secret, she knows too, that Juan really wanted to vote her out instead of Maddie. And Juan, like, unapologetic bastard, like he'll say it like loud and proud,
Honestly, just desserts. I mean, they were trying to get rid of me. I didn't really have anything to apologize to Emma for.
Honestly, I think the reason why they're doing it is just because it gives them somebody to like hate right now. Because both of their reasons for not liking each other are just kind of, I don't know, a little petty, to be honest. Juan doesn't like Emma because she made a group chat in the beginning with 6 of us. We ended up saying the same information in the group of 6 and the group of 7. And he knows that too. And then Emma just kind of hates Juan because he hated her and voted for her. But everyone's gonna vote for you at some point, most likely in this game anyway.
Number 1 on that list of next potential targets is definitely Emma. I think that there's no recuperating anything there. I did kind of call her out when we met up as a tribe, only because I felt like it.
Yes.
Yeah, we need you. We got a math challenge coming up.
I'm
sorry.
One of the possibilities that I've been thinking about is, if there is not a tribe swap this week, then I could potentially throw the immunity challenge.
I need to get rid of my little lies, right? I'm starting to like pile up on lies, and it's gonna make me untrustworthy. I don't think anyone suspects me at this point, but it is a bit worrying, because if I keep going like this, it's not going to be pretty.
The sooner that I get rid of this no vote disadvantage, the better long term it could be for me.
It could get rough for me really fast if people stitch together what I've been doing, because I have been withholding information from every single person in this game that I've talked to. That's fine.
That's very risky though, because I would have to be very, very sure that I'm not gonna get voted out at the tribal council if I end up throwing this challenge.
I would not be sad if we go to tribal council this week, because Brian S needs to go. He is bad for my game at this moment.
And another big issue is, because this thing is online, I don't know how to effectively throw the challenge, because that's going to be a lot more difficult.
Hey guys, it is a couple hours till tribal council, or not tribal. I'm getting way too used to saying those words, and that is a problem. It is a couple hours until the next immunity challenge, and just based on that alone, we need to win.
The people running the game are me, Alex, Megan, and Luciana. We're running our tribe at least. And I feel really good about that for.
So I don't really know what to expect tonight. I am wearing blue once again. Go Spurs!
It should be an easy vote. We'll either vote out Juan or Emma, because Juan was super sus this entire vote, and Emma would just be an easy target.
Yeah, I just really don't want to go back.
Before we get into reading the story, we have a little thing for you. If you guys would like an advantage in this game, you can use your phones for the only time during this challenge, and you must text the word Burundi, spelled correctly with no context, nothing else, into your tribe chats. So I'm only going to read the story once, so I hope you guys are ready and listening. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, in a cavern outside Mermaid Lagoon, there was a collection of 26 glittering rocks. These rocks looked like they'd never been touched by a human hand. Quiet footsteps could be heard echoing off the cavern walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, stopping squarely in front of the pile of rocks. Taking aim at a reddish-brown head of hair that peeked above a stalagmite in the distance, Kevin threw the rock, not directly at the hair, but a little off to the side, enough to grab the person's attention. "Whoa!" shrieked Nick loudly. "Dude, that almost hit me."
The shell his way, barely missing a little bit to the left.
It's Nick. Nick is like, "What the heck, dude? Why'd you do that?" And Kevin's like, "Oh, I just wanted to get your attention because I want to go on an adventure."
You end up hitting your friend Nick, who has red hair.
Kevin is in Mermaid Grove. There are 26 rocks that are untouched by humans. Kevin throws a shell at Nick, and there's a mermaid that has red hair.
"Oh, trust me, I can relate," answered Kevin. "I feel like going on an adventure. Come with me." Nick agreed, and off they traveled, out of the cavern and toward Pixie Hollow. Nick and Kevin approached the forest, and with horror, ran into Bree, Emily, and Bailey. They seemed in pain, though nothing looked wrong on the surface. "Help us," said Bree. "We were sitting here minding our own business when these fairies cursed us."
Meanwhile, Bree, Emily, and Bailey are getting attacked by fairies.
So there are fairies in Pixie Hollow, and there's Bree, Bailey, and Emily. And they meet them. Nick and Kevin do.
Beside you are 3 girls,
There's Bailey, Bree, and Addison.
They also see Bree, Ashley, and Michelle.
On they went, past the hollowed out tree that grew apples carved with people's names on them. Nick picked up one that had fallen to the ground, clearly marked with the name Cooper. They passed Adam and Aaron, who waved as they traded homegrown zucchinis. Their trek took them past a house with a charming wooden sign, hand-painted with Barbara's house on its birch panel.
Then the girls go on a walk down a path. There's an apple tree. They pick up an apple. It has the name Cooper on it. Then they walk further down the path, and there's a house, and it has a guy named Sam in it.
I'll go to Pixie Hollow, where then they meet Aaron and Cooper. And Pixie Hollow is infested by rats.
And then an apple falls from the tree and it says Sam on it.
Michelle, there's a rat infestation at Pixie Hollow. Nick killed all the rats.
Suddenly, from behind a Greek restaurant, a blonde woman peeked her head out in motion for them to come near. Abby pressed her hand into her pocket, then into Kevin's hand, and hurried on. It was a canister of rat poison. Thinking on his feet, Nick took the poison from Kevin and looked off to the east. Outside Pixie Hollow, a gateway stood between them and Chloe, who was on horseback. Despite her best attempts, she could not convince the horse to go through. Chloe, stay back there, said Nick. This could get toxic. And with a throw that could get him a scholarship at the University of Michigan football team, Nick perfectly lobbed the canister into the auction house.
Nick took that something which ended up being rat poison. He threw it in the auction house, which was infested with rats. Chloe was on horseback and she had to stand back like outside the east gate. Nick threw it perfectly into the auction house.
And then Nick takes the rat poison, throws it at the rats, and he ends up getting a scholarship to the U of M football team.
Nick throws the apple at the rats, hits one of them, and then is awarded a football scholarship to the University of Michigan.
And there's a rat infestation. Kevin kills the rats. And someone is having a better day than the other person. I think Nick is having a better day than Kevin.
And they talk about what a good day it was. Adventure, successful, great, perfect. But Kevin had a better day than Nick.
Satisfied at the adventure that the day had brought, the pair wandered back towards Mermaid Lagoon, Nick dabbing all the way back and talking excitedly about what had just happened. And that throw? Did you see that throw? I'm so good, he proudly declared. Whatever, Kevin answered sulkingly. You may have made the throw, but I still had a better day than you. The end. I have the tallies for your guys' tribes that Alex and Soraya submitted. It was very, very close. One tribe got 9 out of the 13 questions correct. One tribe got 7. The tribe that got 9 correct answers and wins immunity this week is the Spurs tribe. So congratulations.
Thank God.
Let's go, guys. High five.
You guys won immunity for this week. You get a week off, not putting anyone out. Meanwhile, the Bears, I will see you guys later this week at Tribal Council, where you will be voting the second person off your tribe. So with that, grab your stuff, heading out. Good night.
Last week, around the time of the scavenger hunt that we lost, had a really bad day. You know, that day where I found out I had COVID and lost the scavenger hunt. What else was it? I got the disadvantage in the wheel, a whole bunch of bad stuff. Today, great day.
Last night was the immunity challenge and we won, which is great. It means that we don't have to scramble and talk and find out who we're gonna vote out, which is good.
We won this challenge and I am thrilled because, it always feels good to be safe, doesn't it?
We won the challenge because of my quiz taking abilities. By the way, that quiz was messed up. Like, every single question was not involved in the story. I found out after that, like, 3 details never got past Luciana. Like the Florida Panthers had, and like took 4 steps, and like something else. Like those were on the quiz. Never even made it halfway. I literally put false for every single question except one. I think I got that one right.
Pretty much a best case scenario happened. We didn't swap, and we won the challenge. So we didn't have to worry about swapping into Spurs minority tribes. And with this challenge win, the Bears are going to tribal council, and the tribes are going to be even 7-7.
We went to challenge and we did telephone, which was actually really fun. I thought I nailed it, to be honest. I thought I nailed exactly what Brian S. told me, and I had Jared repeat it back to me, so I knew he knew it, but whatever.
The DeBears tribe lost the challenge, and I actually sabotaged the challenge.
When we got into that challenge and I saw Maddie wasn't there, I was a little gagged. I was like, oh, okay. Which really sucks because she was the only person on the other tribe that knew me, even though we didn't really know each other, but like knew of each other, had each other's numbers. That really sucks because that's one connection I could have potentially used going forward.
This an opportunity for me to get rid of my no vote disadvantage because there was not a tribe swap this week.
Keeping up the story and just like remembering all of the little details was pretty challenging, but I am happy with like how much I did remember, because I feel like when the person before me was going through it, when Jared was going through it, then I was kind of like, fuck, how am I gonna remember all of this?
The only thing I kind of thought was like 2, Bailey was hexed by a fairy, and Kevin had reddish brown hair because it was Nick.
Yeah, like all the other ones.
Yeah, those are the only 2 that I had an idea about, because half of these names I didn't even hear before.
This is the riskiest decision I have made in this game so far. And I don't even know if this is going to pay off for me.
Out of the 2 tests today, this was actually the worst one.
When I get into the breakout room with Luciana and Brady, Brady says, okay, here's what's going to happen before we read the story. If you send Burundi into your tribe group chat for everyone to see, we'll give you an advantage in the game. And he's like, you have 30 seconds, go.
Brian C. in the Bears chat typed the word Burundi, like the country Burundi, and I didn't really understand like what that was supposed to be.
I text Burundi with the full intention of sharing it with the rest of the tribe. I spelled it correctly.
But it turns out he would get an advantage if he typed Burundi in the tribe chat for doing that.
Or the producers send me a hidden immunity idol clue. You know, it's very specific. You know, I already have the exact area down. It mentions Scottsbluff. It tells you the exact street corner to go to. You struggled long enough, travel to the middle of Scottsbluff. At the corner of 27th and F Ave, you can find what you need to have. But the question still remains, who welcomes all hot air balloonists? It says there was a sign, you know, that's what my commissioner's clue said. Look for the sign. It said, Get and Split welcomes all hot air balloonists. Like, oh my god, that's exactly what the clue's talking about. Oh, that's it. Oh, yes. Oh my god. So I put in the password, and sure enough, I found the hidden immunity idol. Use your imaginations. The real idol's like locked in, like the internet, but I want to wear something, so this is gonna be my hidden immunity idol. But then the problem comes with sharing the clue, because I did promise that. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do, to promise that, but it's too late to change that.
after the immunity challenge, and Brian gets another clue for the immunity idol. And this immunity idol clue is a dead giveaway of what the immunity is. And I know without a doubt that he has had all of the information he needs to find it. Once I see it, I find it in all 30 seconds. So I know Brian has the immunity idol.
Yeah, I did find the real thing. Here's my idol stand-in. It's a lay. I enjoy it.
Did they tell you to get a stand-in?
No, I just like wearing it. Those are so good. But
it looks
yeah,
good. It brings out your eyes. It really brings
thank
out your eyes.
So anyway, I told Will because I feel bad keeping things from him. And it's good to have someone to watch your back, I guess.
Brian admitted to me that he actually did have the idol. And at this point, I believe that I'm the only one out of the pandas to know for sure that Brian has the idol, which is good for me. If, of course, I would like to have the idol. But if there's anybody in this game who I would want to have the idol the second most, it would definitely be Brian C.
Kid and Split, you can pay cash there apparently for gas and get like 5 cents discount. Like if you have that much cash, like get the 5 cent discount. Scottsbluff, Nebraska. I'm endorsing Kid and Split.
Carolyn and Megan would have to be damn fools to not realize that Brian has the idol.
I'm about 98% sure that Brian S. has the idol because he sent Carolyn the website. Like, Carolyn and I had been talking about the idol and we could not find the website. We had the password, but not the website.
I don't know if you saw this earlier when we were just talking about the idol clue. If you look at the GroupMe topic, there's a website for where you enter that.
There's
If
what?
you haven't seen that. I don't know if that's what you're
This
talking
is
about.
news to me. This is so.
Oh, you haven't seen?
I have not seen this. Hold
Oh.
on. This is so.
Check the topic of the group.
Oh my god, wait, hold on. You just blown my mind. I didn't even think to look there. He told me where the website was. I didn't know where the website was before that. And there's no reason for him to give up that information unless he already had the idol.
In terms of advantages, I feel like, I'm definitely like more aware of the fact that someone might have an idol, especially with like the advantages that people have been getting and kind of like the clues that people seem to be.
I'm wondering if Brian C actually has the immunity idol and he changed the password before sending the idol clue to everyone in the tribe chat.
I'm not quite sure what to do with it yet, but we'll figure it. When the time comes, I'll know when to use it, I think. When my heart tells me to use it, I think I have to use it.
After the challenge is done, I get this clue. It says, looking for the idol takes guts, but not if you look across from G cuts. Even if your idol skills are shoddy, you should look at the auto body, unless you can name what we just started spraying. So, me wandering down LA 80 this entire time, I was like, with the sliver and the river, I was, like looking down, and turns out there's more than one river. Duh. When I, go to Street View and I place the little dude right there, there is a body shop with these big neon lights saying that we are now spraying bed liners. BEDLINERS. It's done. It is done. It's done. It's done. I got it. I got it, guys. All right, and it reads, congratulations, you have found a hidden immunity idol. When played at Tribal Council, any vote cast against you will not count. The last time you can use this idol is when there are 5 players remaining in the game. Lips are sealed. It's time to focus on my own game now.
I ask her, or I ask Megan S. Oh, did Luciana like text Burundi to your group chat? And like, did she spell it right? And she's like, yes. What does that mean? So apparently Luciana didn't explain it to him, which is interesting. And so I end up telling Megan, yeah, she's got an idol clue. Like, watch out.
The only question I got was from Megan. She was like, what does Burundi mean in the group chat? And I was like, oh, Brady just said, text it in the group chat whenever you're ready to hear the story.
It's like a terrible lie. Like, at least come up with a better lie.
And that is what I'm going to tell everybody. If somebody else asks, that's it.
Luciana was the first one, obviously, to listen to the story from Brady. And one thing I noticed was that while she was in the call with Brady, she messaged the word Burundi into our tribe group chat. And like, that's not a coincidence. Like, Burundi has like lore in the Survivor Michigan community. And I could totally see, Brady being like, hey, you have an opportunity for an advantage right now if you feel confident in your spot in the game. Text the word Burundi into your tribe group chat, and you'll get an advantage. Whether that's a wheel spin or an idol clue, I'm not sure, but that's where my mind pretty much immediately went.
Rohan asked me, 20 minutes later, pretty much gave him the same story, like, oh, it was just a production thing to start the challenge.
And like, I pretty much immediately called bullshit on that. Like, first of all, it's literally just you, Brady, and Brian C in the call. Like, all you gotta say is, yeah, I'm ready verbally, and you can start the story. Second of all, the word Burundi is a little too suspicious, like, for it to be that simple of a thing.
Megan brushed it off. She's like, okay, yeah, thanks for asking, just wanted to know. Rohan, on the other hand, was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's maybe production's trying to suss you out or something. And I was like, that's kind of true. And I was like, but yeah, no advantage or anything. And he's like, great, I trust you, you would have told me.
So I'm like, okay, Luciana is a pretty emotional player. Let me try to, emotionally manipulate her a little bit and see if she'll give me more information. So I put on my acting shoes and I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I 100% believe you. If you say so, if you say that it's nothing, then it's definitely nothing. If it was actually something, I trust you 100%. I trust that you tell me if it was actually something, especially considering I shared my clue with you a few weeks ago.
And I had to lie through my teeth, unfortunately, being like, yeah, of course. And that felt icky.
And I really thought that kind of tugging at her heartstrings a little bit would make her fess up and tell me the truth, but she didn't. She stuck with her story. She was like, yeah, I promise I'll tell you, don't worry about it, spur strong. And I'm like, damn, either Luciana is actually explicitly lying to my face, or she actually doesn't have anything, and it was just a coincidence that you had to send the word Burundi in the chat to start the challenge.
People always talk about, Rohan once said I'm not, I'm looking for allies right now, not idols. I wonder what it would be like, maybe entertain the possibility you have an ally with an idol.
It looks like our alliance is pretty solid. There's a lot of camaraderie in our alliance. Everyone's really buddy, and it's not like no one seems to really distrust each other.
It was not necessarily how are we going to shield ourselves from going home, but how do we choose the right person to go home, and how do we kind of save ourselves in any unforeseen event, which is an immunity idol being played.
I think that going with the flow is the right thing to do, and I don't know. I think that I need to wait for the right opportunity to strike.
All right, we got 3 options. Right? Unless we all vote Will.
Come on.
As for the vote this week, people want Brian S. out. It was easy enough to convince them of that.
I think he has the idol, and he also has the most time out of everyone in this game. Like, he's only taking one class right now, so even if he doesn't have this idol, if there's a future idol, he has the most time to look for it and the most time to like work on advantage challenges. So I feel like he's a big threat in the game.
I feel like Brian S has been named a lot, which I don't know, I like Brian. So.
Jared is probably the only vote I really feel I can count on, and this week he lost his vote, so that's great. So now it only takes 4 votes to send someone home. And if I can't count on his vote, it's basically me and Kaylin.
And then there's Brian S. Sorry, Brian C. Whoops. Brian C. Okay, so he's pretty much kind of like the director of our tribe, which is totally not a bad thing because he's low-key, he does it well, he communicates, but he's also kind of the director of our alliance, in my opinion. It's true that everyone contributes, but I just kind of get the vibe that he's the director of our alliance. And to be honest, I think that he's the one that arranged this whole alliance situation.
Who is the person we want to vote out right now?
I'm
I just have a
leaning
feeling.
more Brian S.
I think this week the 2 people whose names have come up are Brian S. and Kaylin, and I decided to just steer more in the direction of Kaylin. Because I don't have a vote, I can't vote for Kaylin. So I want to try steering as many people towards Kaylin's direction because Brian S. is my closest ally.
In this game, you can't ever feel like 100% safe. I feel pretty safe just from what I've like heard, but again, like you kind of always have to be conscious of like people might not be telling you the truth, and you might think you know what's going on, but you can never really trust your intel.
I think this is going to be an interesting tribal because Zach was an easy vote last time, but everyone now is kind of friends, so it feels like you're voting a friend out. But I guess we'll go and see.
There's a very complex tribal plan right now with my alliance. And I like half understand what's going on, and we had like probably 3 meetings talking about what's going on.
So after the Spurs Tribal Council, Megan S. sent me a text explaining everything about the advantage that was tied to the scavenger hunt, which was won by Alex on their tribe. Essentially, you have a 50% chance to get an extra vote at your next tribal council, or a 50% chance to lose your vote at the next tribal council. No one else on my tribe knows this, except for whoever has the advantage itself, which is likely Brian S.
Yes, we can look over our combinations again. Yeah.
Okay. Master plan.
But essentially, we can't do a straight split, like a 5-3 or something, because people are worried that Brian S. is going to play the idol, and the 3 of Jared, Brian S., and Kaylin are going to vote together, which puts one of us in a vulnerable position. So we have to come up with a plan to counter that, because I really don't feel like telling all 4 of them that I have the idol. That's just too many people to worry about. We can come up with a different plan.
Okay, this would be the vote. So this would be for Brian, and this would be for Kaylin.
Jared told me that he would be down for Kaylin or Brian S. as long as it wasn't him.
So either of them? Okay.
Yeah. And then we hopefully have our 5 votes to split in any way we like. Hopefully.
I don't know, like what makes most sense? Like who do you think, if anyone is like gonna vote for one of us or something, like if they all like flip on us or something?
Well, it doesn't make sense for only one of them to flip, right? Like in my mind, if one of them flips, all 3 of them flip, or at least 2.
But even 2 wouldn't like be enough.
2 would not be bad. 3 is where things get messy.
Well, let's just do the worst case scenario right now. We have enough people, enough numbers that we don't have to take any risk if we don't want to.
Well, I think this is worst case scenario right now because if Brian plays the idol, one of us goes home in this scenario.
What happens if we were to move one of us to Kalen?
Then Kalen goes home because Brian S plays that for himself. Oh well, then there's a tie vote, right? So then in this particular case, Sreya and I would flip on the revote.
Yeah. Which should be free. So that works out well. So if we were to do 3 Kalen, 2 Brian, and then tell both Jared and Kalen to vote for Brian, then it still would be Brian if he didn't have.
So in this case, we have a tie.
And then we flip on Brian.
Yeah. Let me just move over.
Okay, that's smart, actually.
I think if he has it, he's definitely gonna play it. I would.
You probably should.
The least risky, it's like the low risk, low reward is 3 on Kalen, 2 on Brian. None of us can possibly go home. In the worst case scenario, we learn nothing about Brian and he stays. Best case scenario is Jared and Kalen both vote for Brian, and then Brian goes home.
I'm just scared if Jared talks to Brian.
But guys, crazy idea. I'm not sure if this makes it better or worse. I'm just trying to think, we want to, if Brian S doesn't have it, we want to make sure that Kalen goes home. If Brian S doesn't have it, we want to make sure that Brian goes home and not Kalen. What if we tell Brian that it's someone on the alliance, or we tell Brian it's Jared? It'd probably be easier just to tell him Jared, right?
Oh, because Jared will think it's Brian and Brian will think it's Jared, so neither of them will tell each other who they're actually.
Oh, that's smart.
Okay.
Big brain.
We get Brian S to vote for Jared. We get Jared to vote for Brian S. We get Kalen to vote for Brian S.
This is all done with the assumption that Brian S has the idol. So we decided that we would do a 3-2 split, where 3 of us vote for Kalen, 2 of us vote for Brian S. The reason that we gang up on Kalen is that in the event that Brian S has the idol, we want to make sure that even in the very worst case scenario, none of the Bear Girls Alliance members go home.
The reason Brian S has to vote for Jared, or at least the reason we're telling him to vote for Jared, is because he probably has the wheel advantage. So if he has an extra vote, he'll burn both of those on Jared, and he still goes home. If he loses his vote, then it doesn't matter because he can't vote and he'll go home.
I'm about 72% confident everything goes according to plan. There's just so many variables and it's getting really complicated.
I didn't tell my alliance the real reason that Brian S has to vote for Jared. I just came up with some BS excuse because these people will do anything I say anyway. This week, there is no way this plan can go wrong. I've really outdone myself this time. This plan is rock solid, absolutely 0% chance anyone in my alliance goes home. Brian S is gone. Music to my ears. See ya, Brian S. It's been nice, but not real nice.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a little unboxing video. I have my Amazon package right here, so let's go right ahead and see what's in this. So first, we have a copy of Paddington on Blu-ray. That is really exciting. I'm a big fan of these movies. They're, kids movies. They're just really well made and they're fun. They're nice feel-good films. So that will be, oh wait, I thought that was the only thing in here. Hold on. Oh my god. I think is this the hidden immunity idol? Wow. Okay, so now I see how people would assume I have it. I guess it is really that easy. Huh. I thought this was just the, wait, hold on. So I have the idol and I have the copy of Paddington, for the Bears. Wow. What else is in here? Wait, There. Hold on. This is a phone. What's on this? Oh wow, that's interesting. There's a screenshot, and it looks like it's a message from Megan, saying that they're gonna split the votes on me and Kaylin, and I'm not supposed to vote for Kaylin.
You, me, Brian C, and Kaylin are the 4 who vote for Brian X.
Okay.
That leaves Sreya, Will, and Carolyn vote for Kaylin.
Okay.
And Brian S can do whatever he wants.
Okay.
You think that would work?
I think that could very well work.
Things are getting spicy now.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you keeping me in the loop because you are like single-handedly keeping me in this game right now.
He sends me a message saying he met with Megan and he brought up Kaylin's name. And she seemed okay with that. But she also brought up my name. I'm assuming to throw him off and get him to throw his vote, but still, she threw my name out.
It's just hilarious. It's hilarious how stupid they think I am.
Early on in the game when I had stated that I didn't know if I was going to work with Brian S. For a while in this game, that's out the window now. He's my closest ally and I want to work with him long term.
I do trust that the split vote plan that they're telling Jared is the actual plan, which makes me feel pretty crappy because I didn't trust Brian C completely. I trusted him a little bit. He obviously trusted Megan more than me because he's going along with Megan's plan. They think we're gonna have our first blindside. It's annoying. It's irritating.
I'm really nervous that I just made myself a target by doing that because if they are working together, like Brian S did not at all seem to want to vote for Jared.
I'm Brian. I'm a freshman. I'm kind of paranoid, and actually I got 2 advantages, and I didn't even share the first one with anyone, but I shared the second one. Who knows when I got it, but I shared it at some point. I have 2 idol clues potentially, but I don't have the idol. It's definitely the guy who doesn't have any advantages and hasn't actually done anything shady yet, but he has a lot of free time, so I think we should vote him out.
But this has really become a move to kind of knock Megan off balance in terms of the power that she has right now.
And then meanwhile, Megan, I love gymnastics. I'm in EX 281. Girl, here's an equation for you.
I'm going to just act like I'm still in the flow of doing what I think is the plan, which is the split vote between Brian S. and Kayla. I'm going to act like I'm on board with that, even though I don't have a vote. And I hope that with this split plan, it backfires on Megan.
I just think that all these people pulling a plan, doing this big move on week 4, aren't as smart as they think they are, and they don't know everything.
I have to do what I think is best for my game.
I am just excited for this. This is gonna be a good tribal. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Come on in, guys. Welcome to Bears Tribe, to your guys' second tribal council. So let's get right into it. Brian C, obviously you guys lost the challenge and you were the first one, that got to hear the story. Is there anyone to blame on your challenge loss, or is it kind of just a team effort?
I think it's very difficult to place blame on this challenge because you don't know what happened in each individual breakout room. I was the first, so I definitely forgot a few things. Like, I'll openly admit that, but I think everyone probably forgot a thing or two here and there, and I think just as we went down the line, it got more and more off what the real story was.
Megan C, obviously, like a swap or a merge or something that has to happen soon. What are you guys? Do you have tribe-wide plans to work together, to break apart, to make different bonds, or is it just all up in the air?
Honestly, I don't think anyone really knows exactly what's going to happen with the swap, so there hasn't been a ton of planning, at least as far as I know, about what we're going to do. So we'll have to wait and see.
All right, we will wait and see. So for now, we'll focus on this tribe. Brian asked, is there anyone right now or any like groups of people that you see leading this tribe or this vote, or is it every man for themselves?
I mean, from what I heard, I'm kind of just going with whatever the plan is. I mean, I think the first vote, it wasn't very like, there weren't really many lines drawn in the first vote, so it's really hard to say, because when it's an 8-1 vote, it's like, okay, everyone's good. So this vote, I'm hoping is at least a consensus, but anything could happen. Until the votes are read, you never know.
So, Kaylin, is that the expectation for this week as well? Like, hopefully a 7-1 vote where it's just unanimous, or will it be a little bit more messy?
I definitely think that's kind of the hope, because people want to be in the majority. Obviously, whoever gets voted out doesn't like a unanimous vote, but I think that's definitely the hope for everyone who stays. As far as how this vote is going to go, I've heard a few different things, so it could get messy, but there seems to be a consensus. We will have to see.
So, Jared, speaking of multiple things happening, is there anyone's names that have just been thrown out there in front of everyone, or are people keeping their cards close to their chest?
You know, I think people are more trying to be cautious about like who, about like what they tell people. Like, I know, like, I've been told, you know, a couple names, but I think in general, I think people don't want to just like be public to everyone in the tribe about like who they're voting for, because obviously like that would put a really big target on your back if you do that. So I think people are trying to keep their cards in play with that.
Mm-hmm. So if we're not going to say names, we can talk about qualities. So Soraya, what qualities of people are you guys leading to vote out this week?
Honestly, I think we all in this tribe pretty much like each other. So when we're looking for qualities, we're kind of thinking, where in the long term do we want to be, and what is safest for us right now? And I don't know, as far as qualities, I think it's just like, who do we trust at this moment right now? I think that's most it, probably.
Mm-hmm. So Soraya mentioned trust as well as, you know, the friends of the tribe. So Brian C, is like kind of friendship potentially getting in the way of voting people out, or is it just all about trust? That's it.
I think, you know, to a certain degree, friendship does play a factor because, you know, I've known these people for like 4 weeks now, and I don't want to vote any of them out, but obviously I have to, and if I want to keep playing this game, I have to overcome that bond of friendship and vote them out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to play the game with the other 6 people that are left, hopefully with me, but you never know.
So, speaking of voting someone out, Carolyn, you guys do have a decision to make this week. Have the talk of idols, advantages, things like that been in your minds this week, or not really?
Definitely idols have been talking. People have been talking about idols, absolutely, with all the clues coming out. I would say there's absolutely an idol in play right now with everything we know collectively as a tribe. Who has it? Hard to say. But yeah, people are definitely talking about idols.
Will, is there any names that have coming up with people that, you know, might potentially have an idol that could supposedly be in play, or does no one know?
You know, all that I know is that I don't have the idol, which is dangerous in every other combination. So I'm just staying wary, trying to, you know, keep perseverance to figure out who has it and what to do about it.
So, Brian S, is that potentially totally a problem? Because you guys could be unanimous in a vote, idol gets played, person getting 1 vote could be gone. Like, is that in your mind this week?
I mean, that's definitely something to think about. There's, I'm sure, paranoia about where that idol is, if it's going to come out this week. There's been a few clues given out, but I have no idea who has the idol right now, so it's kind of scary, but you just got to hope that it's not played and it doesn't end up screwing you. So I guess we'll see.
So Megan C, obviously no one said any names of people that, you know, might be going home this week. Are there any people that are like kind of universally safe or liked throughout the entire tribe?
I mean, that's really hard to say. Like, I really like everyone on our tribe. I think most people like everyone on the tribe, so it's nothing personal to, like, whoever ends up going home. Like, I think everyone likes everyone here, so it's really hard to say, but I haven't been noticing there's, like, one person that no one likes or anything like that, because I don't think it's that kind of dynamic on our tribe.
So, Jared, do you think that you guys voting out Zach a couple weeks ago was the correct move? Or do you think that unified your tribe at all or anything like that?
I think because it was a unanimous vote against Zach, I do think it was the right decision.
Fair enough. So before we get on to voting, I have to ask the age-old question. Raise your hand if you feel safe tonight. Like, there's no way you're going home. All right, that's about what I expected. So with that, it is time to vote. Soraya, you're up first.
No hard feelings, Kaylin. Just gotta stick to the plan.
All right, I'll go tally the votes. All right, before I say anything, I have to announce that there are 8 of you at this tribal council. However, only 7 votes were cast. So, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Brady?
Yep.
I don't have the idol. I just want to put that out there. If I had the idol, I would 100% play it right now. So I hope no one thinks I have it, and I hope this goes as I expect it to. Just want to put that out there for everyone.
So Brian S. verbally claimed that he does not have an idol. Him saying that is not an idol, so no idol was played. All right. So when I read the votes, the decision is final. The person being voted out will be asked to turn their Zoom video off immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Brian S. Second vote. Kaylin. 1 vote Kaylin, 1 vote Brian S. 5 votes left. Third vote. Brian S. Kaylin. That's 2 votes Kaylin, 2 votes Brian S., 3 votes left. Fifth vote. Brian S. Kaylin. That's 3 votes Brian S., 3 votes Kaylin, 1 vote left. Fourth person voted out of Survivor Michigan Season 7, The Wolverine Wheel. Kaylin, please turn off your Zoom video, and yeah.
That was fun.
All right, so your first vote is unanimous. That one not close to unanimous. Sounds like your tribe has a lot of things to figure out before next week. So grab your stuff, heading out. Good night.
I said I wanted to make my mark on this game.
I'm a little mad at Megan C right now.
It's really satisfying to just see them shocked and for them to be like, oh, that's not the plan. It would have been even better if I could have sent one of their asses packing.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting it. I'm really curious as to what the play was, how it all like went down. I guess I'll have to see. But I don't know. I feel like my time here was short, but it was very fun. They kind of hit the nail on the head earlier when everyone was just kind of like, yeah, our tribe likes each other. I really don't think it was personal. It was just kind of, I don't know, someone had to be out.